Hello, I'm Martin, the training engineer for Sime Limited. I'm here to do a few informative videos for the domestic user. Here we have a Murelle Advanced boiler. As you can see, the screen at the minute is looking at the two dots, which means the boiler has got power, but the boiler is switched off. You also have a 1.5 bar water pressure in the system. So to turn the boiler on from being dormant, you need to press this button and hold for about 2 seconds and then release. So 1, 2 and off. At the minute, as you can see, it's a scrolling button, so it's a multifunction button, and we can see that the boiler is in summer setting, so this is hot water only. If we press it again for 2 to 3 seconds and then release, you'll see the symbols moved to the snowflake, which is heating and hot water. This is purely works if the clock is set to on, which this one is on continuous, and you'll realise that the boiler is now lighting up and the flame symbol is on, telling you that the boiler is lit. Okay, if you need at any point to increase your water temperature, you press the hot water button, and as again you've got your tap symbol and your temperature. You would increase or decrease to suit. Once it's done, you can just leave it alone, and after a few seconds it returns back to the working screen. Again, exactly the same for the heating. A little radiator comes up, that's your temperature of your water temperature inside the radiators, so you can actually turn that up and down with your plus or minus button. When you're finished and it's set, just leave it alone and it returns back. If we keep this pressed again for 2 to 3 seconds and off, again you're back to your 2 dots, which turns the boiler off. The boiler's still running at the minute, it's the fan overrun. Here you have just a normal clock. Again, in this position, the central heat, this will only do the central heating, and the central heating at the minute is on continuous. If you move the button up, this points to the little line pointing to the time clock, which means that it's on the time settings that are preset with the little pegs around the edge. And then up to the top is central heating is off. The clock will still work, but it won't switch it on or off. If you look at the time settings here, you've got the marker for the time. So at the minute it's saying it's about 9:15, and at the minute the boiler will come on and off every segment that's being pushed out and in. Okay, so if we put it onto timer and we pull all these out apart from that one, okay, we'll put the boiler into winter setting. Okay, so at the minute all the pegs are out, so that means the boiler is on. If we pull a segment in and advance the clock, and that click has got to 10 o'clock, so the boiler has now gone off because we're not calling for heat on the clock. This also, the multifunction button, is, as it says, a reset. So if you get certain alarm codes on the screen, you can press the reset to get rid of that alarm code. But again, you need to take note of this alarm code to tell your engineer. Thank you.